Big Meech is not just upset, he's furious. He feels completely betrayed by Rick Ross, who made big promises but failed to follow through. When Meech teamed up with Ross, it wasn't just about the music. Ross came in with grand ideas, promising a massive budget, a TV show, and a huge welcome home concert to celebrate Meech's release. It all sounded amazing at the time, but now Ross has disappeared, leaving Meech hanging. Rick Ross didn't deliver on anything he promised, and now he's scrambling. And he should be worried because one thing everyone knows about Big Meech is that he doesn't take betrayal lightly. To make matters worse, 50 Cent has been taking shots at both Meech and Ross ever since they started working together. As soon as Meech joined forces with Ross for the Welcome Home concert, 50 wasted no time.
I'm at the Louis store. I'm like, what? What the? I could have saved this bitch $5,000.
Clowning them on Instagram. Originally, Ross hyped up this huge event, promising Meech a cut of the ticket sales, which would have been a major payday. But at the last minute, the entire thing was canceled. The official story? Federal agents supposedly stepped in and shut it down. But many people aren't buying that explanation. Rumors started flying that someone behind the scenes was pulling strings to make sure the concert never happened. And if you ask around, a lot of people believe 50 Cent had something to do with it. After all, 50 and Ross have been beefing for years, and shutting down such a big event would have been the perfect way for 50 to get back at him. Of course, 50 hasn't admitted to anything, but he sure has had a lot to say about it, especially when Boozy Badazz brought up the situation during an interview on Vlad TV. 50 laughed it off, but his reaction only added fuel to the fire. At the end of the day, Big Meech is left feeling played. He trusted Ross to come through, but now it looks like he was just used for hype. And if there's one thing Meech doesn't tolerate, it's broken promises. Ross may have thought he could just walk away, but it's clear that Meech isn't letting this slide anytime soon. Let's not ignore the fact that 50 Cent saw this coming from a mile away. He predicted the event would be canceled before it even happened. And when it all fell apart, he quickly distanced himself, acting like he had nothing to do with it. But let's be real. He was probably sitting back laughing at the whole situation. The worst part? When Big Meech was left struggling, Rick Ross didn't step in to help. Instead, he stayed quiet in the background, waiting for the right moment to use Meech as a pawn in his ongoing feud with 50.
Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy so you could get caught up in it. How did that happen? So that means you got to go back to the movies. Right, that's the... Oh, Meech and Tammy was trying to get Suarez.
Exactly. But when the government found out she was in contact with me, they switched the investigation to it.
Recently, 50 Cent posted a picture of Tammy Cowan, someone accused of being a federal informant. To stir things up even more, he also shared supposed text messages between himself and Tammy. In these messages, 50 directly asked her if Meech knew she was working with the authorities while he was
watching movies. I'm like, man, acting must just be reading lines off of paper, like something like this. And when I get there, like, hey, don't look at the paper. Imagine your mom and dad in the casket right now. You
behind bars. Instead of denying it, she gave more details about the situation. 50 didn't stop there. He later posted, "The truth and nothing but the truth coming soon," hinting that he had more to expose. Just last week, he had already been calling out Meech, accusing him of snitching. He even went as far as saying, "Big Screech, you keep forgetting you told Tammy to get your time cut," making sure to tag all his businesses for extra attention. Classic 50. And it's not just him. Blue Da Vinci and even Diddy have also spoken up, claiming Big Meech played a role in their legal.
So look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do it.
Troubles. They believe he used Tammy as an informant to reduce his sentence. So, this whole Big Screech talk isn't just 50 trying to stir the pot. People in the industry have been whispering about it for a while. It seems there might be more to this story than Meech is willing to admit. 50 Cent even got Lil Meech involved in all of this. Before all the drama, 50 was actually one of Lil Meech's biggest supporters. He put a lot of money into helping him, including paying for acting classes so he could be ready for his role in the BMF series. He also guided him in making smart business moves. Remember when people started spreading rumors that Lil Meech was struggling with substance abuse? Instead of turning his back on him, 50 stepped in. He made sure Lil Meech got the help he needed by sending him to rehab, and he even covered the costs himself. That just goes to show how much he cared and how close their relationship was.
Outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me. It gets cut.
At the time, it seemed like 50 was looking out for Lil Meech, almost like a mentor. But now, with all the tension between Big Meech and 50 Cent, things have gotten complicated. Some people wonder if 50
No, that they say I was the only person that flagged it. He sent up. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest. Tony
will continue to support Lil Meech, or if their connection will fall apart too. With everything going on, one thing is clear. This situation isn't just about business anymore. It's personal, and it's only getting messier. But then Big Meech switched sides. Once he started aligning himself.
said, I wouldn't do that if I was, because Tony Yayo know the niggas ain't got no money. Come on, man, look at Tony Yayo on team that.
With Rick Ross, 50 Cent completely cut ties with him and anyone connected. He didn't just walk away quietly, he made it clear he was done. In fact, he publicly announced that he's pulling the plug on the BMF series, which is Lil Meech's main source of income. Now, both Meech and his son are facing financial struggles. To make things even worse, 50 has been acting petty when promoting BMF. Whenever
you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at, you thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong?
He posts anything about the show, he blurs or distorts Lil Meech's face, almost as if he's trying to erase him completely. It's a clear message. 50 doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. After the failed Welcome Home concert, Rick Ross didn't just sit back and take the loss. Instead of admitting defeat, he fired back with new claims. He now says he's working on his own version of a BMF series. And not just any show, he's promising one with a bigger budget than 50's. This whole situation has turned into a battle of egos, and it's clear neither side is backing down. With so much tension, things are only going to get more heated. That was supposed to be Big Meech's big break. If Rick Ross had actually followed through, Meech could have made serious money. But just like all the other promises Ross made, this one never came true. It was all just empty words. What makes things worse is that 50 Cent owns the rights to the Black Mafia family story.
Take the bad along with the good and show us crew know how to be men, then that's what you get. Everybody shining like new money. There ain't no other crew like this in the world, and there never will be.
TV and movies. This means Ross can't legally create his own version without involving him. So all that bragging about a new series? It was pointless. Meanwhile, Meech is still struggling financially. 50 continues to mock him online, and to make things even worse, Ross has done absolutely nothing to support him. Ross had no problem using Meech's name when it benefited him, especially to take shots at 50 Cent. But now that things are getting tough, he's nowhere to be found. And honestly, this is exactly why 50 has clowned Rick Ross for years. 50 has always said that Ross only brings up his name to stay relevant. At this point, it's obvious Ross jumped on the BMF wave just to get back at 50. Now that things aren't going his way, he's gone quiet, leaving Meech to deal with the fallout alone. Recently, Rick Ross decided to stir up his long-standing feud with 50 Cent once again. Out of nowhere, he brought up 50's late mother in an Instagram story, a move that took everyone by surprise. In the clip, Ross bragged that he was the only person who ever really managed to get under 50's skin. For years, these two have been at odds, constantly throwing jabs at each other. But this time, Ross took it to a whole new level by mentioning something deeply personal. Bringing up a loved one who has passed away is a low blow, even for a rap beef. Many fans felt he crossed the line, while others saw it as just another attempt to stay in the spotlight. 50 Cent, known for never backing down, hasn't ignored Ross's comments. If history tells us anything, he's likely planning his next move, and it won't be pretty. These two have been locked in a back and forth for over a decade, and it's clear neither one is willing to let it go. Whether Ross did this, for attention or to genuinely get under 50's skin, one thing is certain: this feud isn't dying down anytime soon.